Hello and welcome back to RailRoads Online. So today we are here going to be using the number 3 to run our new coal hopper. We have turned around and gotten up the coal there. Obviously we saw it on the last episode there. We got up to 80 with the coal, used up all the beams that we had out here. Quite a bit of coal for the little bit of beams that we brought out here. Again, obviously the industries are on easy, the difficulty on realistic, so we're getting the tow, but that's the payoff on easy. So 80 coal and 9 beams or something brought out here. It was just the 3 cars, so not a lot needed there to actually get moving with the coal industry, which is cool. Gets that underway. So we did turn around and pick up the one hopper. Actually, while we're at it, we'll take a look. Just drops us under 6,000. Coal hopper, not super cheap. Haven't done anything with it yet. Just dropped it in the train there, and we are gonna grab those up now. We'll probably grab them. Oh, you know what? We still have the brake on the tender from kicking the train back. So we'll get that off. And then we will go ahead and grab a load of coal while we're at it. Fuel for the locos, for sure. Which is exactly what we need. Alright, got that in there nice and quick. Cheap and easy, and we are headed out. A little bit of a delay there on that. There we go. First use of the whistle. Shot that. We don't need to go cooking down the rail here. Just need to get it moving. This is all kind of yard speed in here. 15 is good. We don't really need a heck of a lot past that. The obviously the weight of the coal car there is going to turn around and help us along on this run. Did just go ahead with the standard coal car there. We don't have access to the big ones yet, and the side dump cars, I just don't see the point. It's kind of the same weight and you haul less. You can use these to dump into the coal tower, so it isn't like you need the side hopper, and they just don't weigh any less. So to me, might as well just grab the one of these. We do have the small side dump cars, which considered using. Wouldn't have even had to spend, but quite frankly, the loco was already out here. We'd have had to run to go get it, so it was just easier to buy the one car to get some back for fuel. Just kind of creeping on the downhill here. Gonna take it a little bit easy as we are loaded up this time. Nice thing, not a heavy load. Just one loaded car in there. Turned around and put it in the middle. I know some people out there are gonna go, oh, it doesn't matter if you put it in the middle. It does matter, actually. Because if you don't have the weight up front when you go slam on the brakes, if you have it on the back of these 3 empties, you're liable to kick cars off. A lot of people derail doing that. Don't know why they derailed, because they're like, it wasn't going that fast. You don't really have to be going that fast to derail in that fashion. You just have to have weight out of place. Done that before plenty of times. That if you put a weighted coal car behind some empty tier 2 cars, you can't be surprised when some of them get kicked off when you hit the brake or when you do anything, quite honestly. They will get kicked off fairly easy in there. For the most part here, we should be pretty good after we get through there. This stuff just kind of taking the nice gentle way down the hill. Nothing spectacular in here, but everything's nice and low, and it just kind of funnels along the ground. Most of it was all tier 1 groundwork, so fairly low, if not sections that are even lower. Most of this comes out decent looking, I think, on this one. Even the wall in here, I am not horribly disappointed with. Probably could have brought it down at a slightly steeper angle and got rid of it and got down to dirt work right in here. Would have been a good spot for it, and then just have followed the dirt out, but not disappointed with the way that this works out. Lets the train run pretty good. Everything's nice and gentle in there. And that's kind of the one section we're up on wall, so I'm okay with it. Here I like the way it looks down at the bottom. Comes out decent. Functions for the most part pretty good there. Can't complain. Smoother goes at it. Pretty happy with all that for the most part. Moving that up. No real need to do a lot of relaying in here. At most, if anything, maybe some decorating. I could definitely see that. Some little homes here along the river would be kind of neat. Something like that. Don't necessarily need to build up around all the landings or whatnot. I don't know. But this one's pretty minimal track getting through it all. For actually, it's not real hard to run or anything else. Like the stops aren't a pain. Haven't run into anything like that. Where we do run the train backwards sometimes, stopping very far. I don't mind that either. So most of this layout's coming out pretty well so far. A couple more stops to go. I think we have two more on the plan for this one. Oh, we can go ahead and grab. We don't need to muscle up for the hill. It's gonna run. So handling that all pretty well. Yeah, definitely coming under power well. I suppose trading off the one full hopper for the other cars being empty is probably a pretty even split. In fact, it's probably lighter going back this way than it was coming this way, now that I think about it. Gonna let it run for all it's got here. We have a ways to go and a destination to get before the load yet, so moving along. A lot of things we could do with this one. We could take it straight out to the ironworks. We definitely need a lot of it out there. We probably didn't actually even need to slow down much for this, but we will just to be civilized. Plenty of coal, water is still hot, everything's doing good. A little bit of signage and decor we need yet for things, for sure. Pretty barren out here train track, but the route is looking good. The valley's looking good. Alright, here we're going to slow down. There we go. Roll this one through. It's probably the one piece of groundwork I don't like the most, actually. Almost in the whole thing. But again, not bad, so I'll take it. It could have been further over to the right and actually made that corner a little easier probably to come around, but for the most part, that's working. Happy with it. Not going to fight with it or change it much. Get us back up to speed. Up and running. We know we're going to have a little bit of downhill right here. And the train's just going to take off, so... Cool, we got her on that, and we have a straightaway, so we're just going to let it go ahead and run. let her run in here. Not a total straightaway to be real, but not a curve that we're going to worry about. Now we are scooting right along, and we'll chop that. This is really just going to segue into another little bit of a downhill, so we should just keep on scooting here quite a bit. So we get down for the bridge, then we're going to have to start slowing this down a little bit. Make sure we still have the whole load back there. We're good to go. We are going to get into the slalom here, which we don't need to be going crazy for. Dip down into this. Shouldn't be too bad here. I can't believe how easy we actually pull up through this. But then we never really asked the track to do a lot of this one. Somehow it actually came out pretty smooth, which is insane. Even the last turn there. Really happy with the way that that all came out. See if we can just roll through here. Decent. Like we're doing okay anyway. Nothing going too crazy, nice and smooth. Should get rid of that 1-2 trees there, looks like. Have to get the tree crews out yet. A little bit. Push some of that back. It's nice when you can get a couple of people on the train and just turn around and cut off of both sides and really just get rid of all the stuff you want to get rid of, or eventually over time. This rail not doing too bad as far as high-speed rail, I have to say. The whole route lends itself pretty good towards moving along, which is nice because it's a long run. You know, if you have to take that slow, then it kind of becomes a bit of a drag. Switches are good. We will try to have it at 15 going through our chicane kind of turn here. I don't even want to say chicane because it's really not totally, but whatever. We're gonna just kind of chill as we go through the weeble wobble. Alright, and then we'll open her up. Give it full gas, and hopefully she'll come out of here with the load just fine and dandy. The new monster locomotive, beast of the rails, if you will, class 47, as it starts bogging down. If anything, we're just going to cut the empty cars loose and let it run. I'm sure it'll take the hopper. All we really need to get up the hill is the hopper, so which that may be a thing here. I don't know, we're still chugging. We're in train chugging territory now, though. Coming up into, I don't know, what is this, morning or sunset? Don't know. It's probably sunset. It's got to be sunset. Turned around, did turn on the day-night cycle, so we do have the potential to run into night here at some point. That's a thing too. Even though we're not totally done building, If we do, I'm pretty sure I remember to set the nights short and the days longer, so shouldn't be too big a deal, but we may definitely run into some night. That's why we're seeing the shifting light, so that's going on. Everything's turned on now, day, night cycle, dynamic weather, all that good stuff. Looking good there, heading into the sunset. So we're going, no, we're not. We want to go that way. Ooh, that was just in time. Although, we definitely could have gone the other way and picked up some wood anyway on the route, but we're not gonna. We have coal on board, and that is our priority load right now. Gonna go deal with that. Our first coal, which we've spent a fair amount. I mean, by the time you end up building the tracks out there, even running minimal just to get minimal, you know, fair amount of work into that one that you're gonna get, or you're gonna have. Pine Valley, you know, I always looked at it like really coal and oil are the two big payouts. You definitely get the nice payout money-wise from the iron at the beginning, but coal and oil are really kind of the keys to the success on this railroad, or the empire, I guess, if you will. Alright, that's the way we want to go. Looking good there. Get rid of that. Although I suppose we could have got rid of the cars. What can we do with the cars? I don't think that siding is long enough. You know what we're going to do? We're going to stop this thing right here. That'll work. We will be making some, actually. Let me look at this for 2 seconds. We're going to definitely be making a few adjustments in here for sure. So, let's actually just do this. Of course, we're going into nightfall right at the time that we're going to need to do stuff. Alright, opens that up. We will set a break there. Let's get through this way. 5-minute night cycles, I think. I don't remember what I put the day on, so. But I think the night was only like 5 minutes long, so even if we do run into that. Whoa. Hey, come here. Back. Turn you on. Turn you on. A little bit of light. Never hurt anybody. I probably shouldn't say that, but for the most part, a little light in the dark is not a bad thing. Alright, we'll zoom this along. We still have our coal on board. No rear light, so we are limited there. Zooming this up here. I just need to put out some lights or something. Wouldn't be horrible just to plop a little light alongside the switch, although the switches nowadays you do more on the map. It's one of those things. Don't really need to solve a problem. Don't necessarily have. Hopefully we got all the trees off of this. We've never been on this yet, so that'll be a thing. We are gonna back this up in this direction though. We're just gonna take for granted that we got rid of all the trees since we have no rear facing light to have any idea which just how it's gonna go. And no, we are not just gonna drop it at the depot. We could have done that on the other side, but I do think, at least for the time being, that we may turn around, put some coal storage here not exactly sure, and then now we're into nighttime, which is not the right time for building. But we have all this space here that we don't currently use for anything. So let's go ahead and get rid of some trees. We'll do a little bit of nighttime logging here and see if we can make some room for some ideas. Time to clean this stuff up. We knew it was going to happen sooner or later. The yard was going to get used. This area was going to get used. For sure. Alright. A lot of trees in this section. Okay, we do want to be able to use that. That should give us plenty of room here to do plenty of things. Maybe. Probably not, but we'll see. Sort of an idea, but no real plan. So that's how this is gonna work. All right, grab some track. So we want to be at least out past the edge of the dock there. Then what do we need to do? We are gonna want. Question is, yeah, then somewhere in there we're gonna want to do, yeah, like that. Maybe that's enough. Maybe that's not enough. Alright, we want a coal tower, that we know. And we want a coal tower on that side. We want to dump it. Yo, it would be cooler if we were dumping it. No, not really. We want to pick it up. Alright, so if we do something like that, is there any way? No. No, there is no way that we get over for that. Okay. So, using that as an idea, we will need a switch, and we will need that way further down. Okay. So if we do something like in there, bam, and then we get rid of that, and we get rid of that. Doing this in the dark is definitely a little interesting. Okay, then let's see. We could get rid of. We don't need to get rid of. If we need to get rid of that, we'll get rid of that. Otherwise, we aren't gonna. So let's not yet. We'll do something like that. Wow, that's not a heck of a lot of extra room. Alright. We'll get it figured out. Wow, was that thing really out that far? So that means this has got to come out here, which that's fine. I think the daylight's coming up, which is gonna certainly help us. Alright, we gotta go. We can go out to there. And then it's gonna have to work on there, because otherwise we're not gonna be able to make the turn like what I'm thinking in my head right this minute. So, anything other than that? Another question is, do we want to try to bring back that side, or are we just gonna... I think we just did that rail. Okay, cool. Excuse me. Alright, coal tower. Let's take this up again. See if we can get it. You gonna lock? There you go. Lock on there. And we'll put it how far away do we need to put it? We want a nice chill turn. Log on. There you go. And we'll stick you way back. We'll stick... No, I get it. Probably would be easier if I brought that rail back to it. And I think I made it slightly too long. The one sad thing is you can't just turn around and delete. One piece or a little bit of a track. You can't delete, you know, if you delete something there, you delete the whole spline. Oops. Third time's the charm, nothing like it. But how does that affect us? Does it affect us on the turn? That's the kicker. What kind of angle do we get here? Because if we gotta go any tighter than see where that. Be too long any shorter and we don't get what we want there. That's okay. You know what, we'll go with the original intention, which was just to have it be a dead end, and if we want to adjust that at a later time, we can do that. It gives us time to work on some yard stuff, I guess, for another day. Because, yeah, in order to bring it back, it can't be a lot shorter anyway. Yeah, don't think so. That there. Yeah, we're gonna end up getting rid of that rail anyway. Alright, that gives us a nice chill way to get over. I think one thing I want to try here real quick before we just get rid of everything. Throw that on there. Get rid of that. Kind of gives us where we need to be. Try that. Not sure if this is too... If it's coming this way, we can handle it. If it's not, how does that look? Too funky, not gonna do it. That's all we needed to see. Alright, we don't like that at all. So that's fine. Cool. Yeah. Solution there. That's too bad it just didn't work the way we wanted it to. Alright, move this around. There we go. Back to good. And then this will shorten now that we know we don't need it way out there. We'll shorten it so we can get a little bit of a more chilled turn in there. Cool. But that should give us what we need to get this in there. So let's drop down. Get back in our little loco. Coal, we are good. Water, we are good. Still everything holding. Got that. Alright, now that we are nice and early in the morning, coal tower is open for business. Which is precisely what we needed. Oh, nope. That's cool. If we were picking up coal, man, totally winner. Not today, man. We gotta drop it off before we can pull it out of there. We're just making sure everything's snapped together. No. Alright, get on the, there we go. Bag it up. I have a feeling we do not have a lot of roll room here. No, we probably don't even have enough roll room. So we'll just I don't know what we're gonna do because we gotta actually be able to link to the trap. We'll push it back. Sorry, do we dare push it back? Stop! Alright, that'll work. Probably. Not for anything, actually. So, okay, we'll stick that there. We're just gonna run this out straight. It's cool, it's right alongside the... If we actually let it come down a little bit, like maybe those cars will just roll back and we could actually stick trains there and just have them gravity feedback. I don't know. I think we'll do like that though. We are going to bring it down a little bit of an angle and then slap that in there. Cool beans. Doesn't even hit that, so we're going to leave that. It's buried enough that we're not even going to mess around with that. Take that. Winner. We're getting some wins. It's cool. And then this. Should fix that. Alright, tell me that it's all going in here. And this is where the big kicker comes in. Because that 10 we put in there is going to come out 20 in there. And then that is where we are really winning, if you ask me. So, yeah, all things considered, coal to the tower. Yeah, I mean, now if we never want to, we never even have to run back out on that long run. It's all right here by the depot and in place. But that is a winner. Say thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscriptions are free, but they sure do help the channel. Y'all have a great day.